Okay. I have never seen this. I heard about it, but I've never seen it. That was cool. That was cool. That was Muhammad at 50 years old in 92. Man, all of our legends, wow, I won't say all of our legends are gone, but you know what I mean. Nice nostalgic rub there, man. One legend paying respects to another. So, Good Golly Miss Molly is a hit rock and roll song, first recorded in '56 by Little Richard and released in January of '58 as specialty single 624, and next in July of '58 on Little Richard. The song, A Jump Blues, was written by John Mara Kalsko and produced by Robert Bumps Blackwell. Although it was first recorded by Little Richard, Blackwell produced another version by the Valiants, who imitated the fast first version recorded by Little Richard, not released at that time. Although the Valiants version was released first in '57, Little Richard had the hit, reaching number 4. Like all his early hits, it quickly became a rock and roll standard and has subsequently been recorded by hundreds of artists. The song is ranked number 94 on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Some very high rankings there, man. Other notable versions includes Jerry Lee Lewis, the Swinging Blue Jeans, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, incorporating Good Golly Miss Molly into their version of Devil with the Blue Dress On. Creedence Clearwater Revival recorded the song in '69 on their Bayou Country album with slightly changed lyrics. Alright, and that is Wikipedia Song Fact Info on this fabulous quad of songs. And the man, the legend, Little Richard, rest in peace, sir, did so much for the world of music and entertainment. Alright, so I'm just scrolling down here before I bounce, man. Just checking my notes here. Yeah, man. So this just reminds me, it's another tap on the shoulder for me to remind myself to look more into developing a series, just like I did with the British Invasion series when I first started the channel. I was looking at doing both the British Invasion series and what I called History of Rock and Roll series, and that basically covering everyone on the American side, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, that sort of thing. You know, I mean, the British Invasion, definitely a big chunk of rock and roll history, but on this side of the water, of the pond, we definitely had some great legends, and we just witnessed one. So I'm thinking of developing that. For some reason though, when I first started, it seemed that there was a lot more interest in the British Invasion series. So we'll see, but I'm going to look into perhaps doing some sort of a, I'm calling it History of Rock and Roll series, and going from there. So this reaction, this quad is definitely a pin to remind myself about that. Yeah, man. So speaking of quads, I know I've got a whole bunch more coming up, and I didn't have time this weekend, unfortunately, to hit up my Unholy Trinity that I wanted to do. I got to get back on the horse of doing my full album reactions for the Unholy Trinity, namely Deep Purple and Black Sabbath. So, and of course, I want to also get back on the horse and do my full album reaction. Not so much full album reactions, but complete the Live at Pompeii. I'm still not finished 71. Now, let's not even talk about 2016 yet. I still got to finish 71. So that's my big objectives for the next little while, man. I really want to get onto that. What else was I going to say? Yeah, some patrons, this is for the patrons, some patrons were asking me about the difference between the silver package and the gold package. How it works is this: if you are a patron and you have a silver package, That's $5 a month. The silver package entitles you to a quad reaction. So you get a quad reaction, right? Now you have to initiate the quad reaction. I'm not going to come chasing after you saying, hey, you get a quad reaction. What's your quad? What's your quad? No, you have to approach me and you have to say, hey, I would like to recommend a quad reaction. Here are the reactions. Here are the links. If you don't provide links, I don't do the reaction. And so you get a quad reaction. Now, when you are a new patron and you join, you will get your quad reaction, your first quad reaction within a week to 10 days, a week to 2 weeks. I like to try within a week to 10 days. And after I have completed your first quad reaction, right, then you can actually immediately or a little bit longer or whatever, take your time and send me another recommendation. It's an ongoing relationship, so it doesn't have to be just one initial and then you're done. You can do that if you like, because there are some patrons that just like to support me and they don't actually ask for quads or album recommendations. Totally your call. Now, wait until I have completed your quad first before sending me another one. I only hold one reaction in your folder at a time. Okay, so after I have completed your first quad, then you can send me another recommendation. And again, you have to come to me. I'm not going to come chasing you. So that's how the quad reactions work on the silver level. The exact same thing on the gold level. On the gold level, that's $10 per month. What that entitles you to is either a quad reaction or an album reaction, a maximum of 10 songs. Got to watch that, because there are some patrons who will totally take advantage of that. Oh, I get a full album reaction. Well, here you go. And then there's this extended jam link with like 16 links, and the songs are like 15 minutes each. No. So with the gold package, you either get a quad reaction or you can ask for an album reaction. 10 tracks maximum, right? You got to have limits, because I see a lot of people taking advantage of that. So that's the difference between the silver and the gold. And same relationship. You send me your quad or your album reaction. I give you that reaction, and then after I've completed that reaction, you can then approach me again with another recommendation and another. It's an ongoing relationship, but do not send me more than one at a time. Okay, so that's the big rub, and that's how it works. It's an ongoing relationship, right? You guys are supporting me on an ongoing basis. I think that it isn't asking much of me to give you something in return on an ongoing basis. Tit for tat, right? All right. My mom smacks me when I say tit for tat. She thinks it's vulgar. I don't know where I got that from, but I've just grown up saying tit for tat. Everyone knows what it means though. So yeah, so that's it. Those are my notes. I hope that clears it up, because I sometimes get, and not just new patrons, sometimes I get confusion from established patrons asking. So it's either I didn't explain it clearly enough, or I don't know. But I just thought that I would make a note of that and share that with you. And it's an ongoing thing. Sometimes people forget or whatever. That's cool, right? Some people leave and then they come back and there's been some changes, and that's cool. So within private messaging and whatnot, we'll straighten it out. And that's how you get a hold of me, by the way. Don't post your quad recommendation or your album recommendation all over the place on Patreon. Private message me, right? I don't want to go searching for it. Oh, STB, did you get my quad recommendation? I don't think so. Where was it? Oh, I put it on the community tab, and that was like about 6 weeks ago. So now I got to go scrolling and looking for it. Private message me, okay? Only private message me, or otherwise you might fall between the cracks. So I hope that clears it up. Any other questions? Private message me about quad reactions or full album reactions, or the 2 packages. And that's all that's available on Patreon right now. I know that some people were recommending that I do one reaction for $1, a double shot for $2, all of that sort of thing. I'm going to hold off from that, because what that creates initially is that it creates a crazy revolving door. And for each video, whether it's a quad or whether it's even a single, processing time for each video is approximately 4 hours. I don't have that much time to mess around with a whole bunch of videos. So I can only squeeze out at best 2 videos per day if I'm really, really on it and I don't have a crazy life going on. So basically that's the update of what's happening in my world. So just the 2 packages for now on Patreon. It's manageable with my life and everything, and it's well balanced. We might add something more down the road, but for right now, that's where it's at. It's balancing out for me, especially now with the new platform as well. So that's my update, man. Hope that helps. Hope that clears up some mud for you. Anyways, Little Richard was fantastic, and I would definitely welcome checking out more of his stuff, especially stuff that I haven't seen, like the birthday for Muhammad Ali. That was really excellent, man. Anyways, thank you again. Jupiter, thank you for the recommendations. Take care, and I'll see you guys in my next quad. Peace.